Okay, I think we actually are live. Are we live, guys? It says live, so I'm going to trust that as we are live. Basically, we are here today to share the love of some awesome indie games. Thank you very much for dropping in. This is the start of a new podcast, so I'm sure it'll be very rough around the edges. And, it's going to be a laid back time with awesome people and just good chatter about the cool world of indie games. So if you are an indie games fan, you are definitely in the right place. And thanks for dropping in. So this podcast has been something I've been procrastinating over for way too long. So it was literally putting it off for probably over a year, I would say, which is crazy. But after so much thinking about it, I forced myself to stop overthinking it and actually give it a shot, because sharing the love for awesome indie games is definitely something which I love to do. So I'm going to give it a shot live and try it out. So basically tonight's episode will be acting as a trial episode, and if all goes smooth, it will be something that hopefully we could maybe do on a regular basis. I'll have to see how that goes, see how everything goes tonight. But like I say, we trial run, and if it's all good, then maybe it'll be something we do regular. And tonight it's going to, as I say, be a very laid back sort of show, chatting, sharing the love for upcoming indie games from kind of the recent events. I don't know if anyone has been checking it out, but it's kind of a digital E3 period that's been going on. I know most people have checked out the PS5 event and stuff like that, but there's also been a ton of other really cool, smaller sort of showcases, like the Guerrilla Collective, the Escapist Indie Showcase, the Future Games Show, and we're going to dive into some of the coolest games from those showcases and anything that's happened really over the last week or two. Let's basically introduce some of the cool dudes who have joined me today. I'm absolutely honored to have joined me, to be honest with you guys. It's been one of the things I've been really excited to do, is put together a cool bunch of people to join me. So I'm going to start off by introducing our man Fastback, who is arriving on the late train tonight.
Slow fun.
Slow back.
I forgot to get with Mike to see if I'm allowed to share my avatar on other podcasts.
That's a rule, is it? I like that.
Not part of the contract. No, but I appreciate you
theme, isn't it? So
asking me to join you on this thing. I know we've been going back and forth talking about some of the indie games that have been shown lately. So
absolutely,
I've been excited what I've seen. I know you have been. So
most definitely, my friend. And I couldn't think of a better person to join me, just like I would say for Super Coop and Removable Sanity as well. Spoiler alert for them guys. No, definitely, we've talked a lot about indie games over the years, 2 years or whatever. We've been going back and forth about some cool games. So I think this is something I really wanted to do for ages, and people like yourself make it
well, I can't think of anybody better to even do something like this, because I can't think of. I know indies get talked about in other podcasts, but I don't know of a dedicated indie podcast. And I've always loved videos that you do and reviews on indie games. So
thank you. That's very kind. I really appreciate that, my friend. Oh, thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. Oh, it's too much emotion already. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
definitely. And so moving on from there, we've got another cool NLG guy. By the way, Fastback is of course a member of the NLG podcast, so check those guys out. I have got links in the descriptions to all of the guys on today's show, so follow those and check out those guys. But another member of that family, the NLG family, is an awesome guy who's popped in at last minute on this one, but he was definitely a priority to get on this show. And it's an honor to have Super Coop on the show today. How you doing, buddy?
It's an honor to be here. Good, man. I appreciate it.
He's the redheaded stepchild of
That's right.
Definitely.
Huge honor, man. I'm stoked. Appreciate you having me on, and stoked. Like Fastback said, it's kind of podcasts either cover the current topics, what people are gaming today, or retro. And then you kind of fill the gap in between with the indies. There's not much indie podcast going on out there. So you're always supporting that. I always appreciate your monthly videos, and just an honor to be here for
my friend.
episode 1.
That's much appreciated. Thank you very much again. You guys are awesome, because you're always speaking about indies on your show as well, but you cover the broader spectrum on NLG, and like I say, you are an extended member of that family as well. I always think of you as that. as you do stream with them sometimes and stuff like that, which is awesome. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on, my friend. Really appreciate it. And finally, we've got a cool guy who I've sort of met through actually just finding his videos initially and checking them out through YouTube, just through the organic way of finding videos about indie games. So yeah, and his videos are really great, and lots of really great reviews of smaller games. He really pays attention to those smaller titles that don't get the attention. So I really respect him for that. And it's really an honor again to have an awesome guy like yourself, Removable Sanity, on the show today to kick things off. How's it going, buddy?
Oh wait, really? You talking about me? Really? I thought you were talking about someone much better. No, it's an honor to be on here, to be honest with you. You know, I've just been exceptionally lucky that I get these amazing little indie games to play with and review, and anything I can do to really just showcase off the absolute delight and innovation that they come with is an honor. And as I said, with the big boys here, it's nice to it's just even nice to be even asked. It's just an honor. Thank you very much for letting me come along, and I hope I don't talk too much.
No, you'll be fine. That's what we do on podcasts, isn't it? So you're in the right environment. You're in your natural habitat there.
You say that now. Honestly, you'll mock me. You'll turn me off later on.
Brilliant. No, thanks for coming on. It really is much appreciated. And just a quick note, you do deserve a lot more subscribers. So be sure to hit that subscribe button on Removable Sanity's channel, and as well the NLG Gaming channel.
I'm blushing.
But we better get into some topics, I guess.
Oh yes,
well, topics. We're basically going to be getting into kind of all of the games, like I say, from all the recent showcases. But just actually before we get into it, what we're going to probably do is show off some games. Hopefully the stream is going to stand up to the test of showing some trailers as well, with the bitrate, etc., what we're running on through now. Hopefully it's going to manage that. We will definitely try and show some visuals as well as talk about some cool games which we've seen. But firstly, I just wanted to know what you guys thought of all of the recent showcases. If you didn't catch them all, then what did you think of the ones you did see? We start off with Fastback, if you like, and he's got his beautiful avatar as well, just in time.
My old avatar.
Yeah. That's old school. I like that.
I can't find
I remember it.
Yeah, I got a glimpse at all of them. I think the last one I didn't really, because it came on Monday at lunchtime while I was at work. So, but I did watch
the Guerrilla you're talking about now.
Yeah,
Guerilla Collective. Yeah,
but I did watch the one that you just talked about earlier. I did watch the three Guerrillas, the Future Game Show, and then Escapist, right?
That's right. Yeah, Escapist was the first one to kick it off.
I was watching what I missed at work today. I mean, some great stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, in all of them, I found something in all of them that I know there were some that were on all of them. You know, some repeat, but I did like that they were able to get with some of the devs. And,
some of the deeper dives and that when they talk to them after and that. Yeah, that was cool. Definitely. It's really, really good insight. So did you have kind of a favorite sort of showcase as a whole, or was it just just enjoyed it all?
I really enjoyed the Future.
That was really good.
I thought it was kind of cool having was it Nolan?
Yeah, Nolan North. Yeah.
And Emily Rose, I think. And I thought that was kind of cool having those two hosts, because
definitely
they're good at what they do. They're actors.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus they also act for gaming, and so they have a good idea what gaming is about. So it was interesting to have the sense of humor and all that going on. So I'd like to see more of that on other game shows too.
Definitely, it does make a lot of difference.
Yeah, and of course, Guerrilla, you have Greg. Was it? Yeah, Greg, right?
Yeah.
He's the main host on that.
Yeah. Was it Greg? Oh God, I forgot his name for some reason. That's terrible.
I can't remember his last name. Is it Greg over?
He's the kind of funny games guy anyway, isn't he?
Yeah.
Game Over Greggy.
Yeah,
Game Over Greggy. That's his Twitter, isn't it?
So he always does a good job.
Is it Greg James? Not Greg James, is it? I can't remember. Yeah, he's great. He's He's good at hosting, and he's fun. And I remember last year they did the kind of funny indie showcase, which was really, really good as well, I thought. So they combined, didn't they? I think that the kind of funny and it's called the Media Exchange, I think, and also all of the indie publishers was what came together as the Guerilla Collective, in case you didn't know. So yeah, basically it was a collaboration between all of those guys, and I thought it was really nicely done. The only thing I didn't think was so good, which the stream was a bit laggy, wasn't it? Which is obviously Greg Miller, thank you very much. Which was a shame, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? But yeah, so you enjoyed the Future Games show. I thought that was a really good show as well. I thought they were all good though. They were really good quality.
All of them were good.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just quickly. I forgot to earlier. I just want to shout out the chat. Thank you very much for popping in. This is obviously the first show, and we've got loads of you guys here, and I'm loving it. It's very, very kind of you to pop in, guys. Thank you very much. I'm going to shout out a few of you awesome peeps, which is Z Black Rider. Great to see you, my friend. Beardy Max just popped in. How you doing, buddy? Great to see you. UK Dazarus, the legend himself, and Stinky Corpse in there. Awesome to see you, my friend. Great. Great Force Gaming, Goat Force Gaming. Awesome to see you too, buddy. Loving those streams. And anyone else in there? Just quickly. Anyone else? Stubbsy Baby's in this somewhere, I believe. And we've got someone else I don't see too often who's a really good guy, which is It's There. And it's awesome to see you, my friend. Thanks for popping in. I hope you're still here. But anyway, yeah, moving on. Supercoop, what did you think? What did you catch? Which of the shows? How did you feel about it all?
I caught a bit of I kind of lost track. If you looked at your YouTube feed when all that stuff was going on, there was like everybody was doing their own little, narration and whatnot. And but I did catch sort of one of the, I think it was, I don't remember which one of the Guerilla Collective episodes that they had on IGN channel. But just not much. I was gaming at the same time. All those kind of took place while I was at work, so I didn't, kind of meant to go back afterwards and.
Yeah, there was a lot, wasn't there? So I can understand.
Yeah,
and everything. I
caught the PC show, which
I didn't get to watch.
That one I caught most of, and that had some great. I mean, you could call it sort of an indie showcase because
it's true
for the most part what they covered on that one. But
so definitely, Like I said, I was glad to see, I knew about the game before, but the game Proteus, which is like a Doom style game, as I said earlier to you, that was in the featured in the PC gaming show, which was really cool. But we'll get into some games in a minute specifically. But yeah, so you enjoyed the PC gaming show. Yeah, I like the presentation was good considering all the. It's quite funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, they definitely cheesed it up pretty good.
They did,
which they usually do. Sort of the like Devolver Digital. Like I always like their like E3 shows and
exactly. Let's say that actually. Devolver have actually. I don't know if you saw the announcement, but Devolver have announced they're doing a showcase in July. So I've got that to look forward to, which will be really cool. So and that's I wonder what that will be like this time, because usually it's quite crazy and basically it's mental, isn't it? But it's really good though. I don't know what they'll be like this time with production and stuff, but
it'll be entertaining.
I'm sure it will, but they wouldn't let it go out with their branding. Their branding, does it? Wouldn't be like drab, would it, with Devolver behind it. Good stuff. Cool. So what did you think about it, Removable Sanity? How did you feel about that? You've watched quite a lot of it, didn't you, I believe?
It was, I mean, to be fair, I was completely oblivious these were turning up until it was people tweeting, mentioning they were coming on. So I caught the Escapist, the Guerilla, Future Gaming as well, sort of thing. But I also came back on myself and watched some of the VODs to try and, just remind myself of the plethora that was kind of shown off. It was nice to see some games that I was already aware of anyway, just by me searching around. But to see the large amount of games that was just announced is a little bit overwhelming, but was absolutely great. But I think one thing we kind of got to remind ourselves in, all these podcasts were done probably very quickly with what's recently happening. They probably had a whole different way of going about this, and all of a sudden it's like, right, okay, how can we kind of get these games out now? So, it was as a bit like this one is, the Guerrilla, I know they, as you said, they crashed twice. They had a bit of a problem with Mixer in terms of that. But these are teething sort of aspects. I think the idea is now, are they going to continue this? Is this something we're going to see on a regular basis? Or should the world be put back together again, not by this time next year? Do you think it'll end up going back down to one big show? I think these individual shows work better for everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I like them definitely. Yeah,
I think it was I think it really showed off, and it gave probably a bigger limelight to the developers that probably wouldn't have got it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe they fit better the indie sort of style stuff though, because of the more low key sort of aspect. I think maybe AAA's like to be announced on a stage to a big, applause, except you know what I mean, like
new players.
Yeah, exactly. Streamers, flares. They want the going down the street. Where I think with these online, I wouldn't say they're small because it didn't feel small. I think the professionality shone through. Regardless of which stream you was watching, whether it's the Guerrilla, whether it's the Future Game, whether it's Escapist, the polish was really, really good, and you wouldn't know it was an indie game selection of games. To be honest with you, it just showcased off games. It felt like it was just, doesn't matter what it is, here they are.
Yeah,
have a look at these amazing games that are coming towards you, which I think just. I'm hoping it will now push people. It's going to people are going to wake up to it. Because I think they might.
So I just saw a violent drop in, cheeky beggar. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. Just surprised me.
I thought I said something completely out.
Sorry. And what you said, I completely agree with. Sorry, I do apologise. You carry on, I'm just dropping him in. You carry on. What's up, FC? How you doing, buddy? Is this because I forgot to shout you out and you come in to tell me off? Is it?
That's exactly what it was. I'm like, this guy. It's all love. You know what's funny, because when I do my show and then you see the issues that I have going in, and it's usually half the time we're waiting on people or whatever, and I'm laughing because I'm like, Indy, you're supposed to start at 4. You're late. So a little bit of payback.
My fault. I'll take the blame. What's up, Violent?
What's going on, man? What's going on, everybody? I don't mean to cut everybody off, but I had to come in here. Well, I got people working in the background, so you don't see my lovely mug and overgrown hair. But I'm here, man. I gotta show support, man. As an indie gamer, he's the man, and who doesn't love indies, man? It's as a kid, as a gamer at heart, man. That's where you all start from. So
definitely. It's awesome to see you pop in, buddy. I really appreciate it. It's got a bit of class popping in, although we're classy as well, obviously. Well, I'm not, the rest of the guys. But we got, the FC class. So it's great to see you, bud. So what did you think of the whole, we've just jumped in, what did you think of the whole shows as a whole, my friend? Did you catch much of it?
Oh, man. Firstly, kudos to me for perfect timing. God damn. It's like, no, let me stop.
Sliding in. Thanks this time.
I'm joking. But you know what? So I didn't catch all the shows because the links that you sent me, Indy, it crashed like 3 times, and I'm like, this guy. So I think it was the Guerrilla one. I'm like, he's like, have you seen it, Vaughn? I'm like, I can. I would love to, but it keeps lagging and crashing. But which is unfortunate. Hopefully, I could probably watch that back. But the one showcase I did watch was the I sent it in the group. Shit, what is it called?
The Future Game Show, is it? No, the Escapist. The Escapist.
Yeah. So the Escapist, there's where it was like almost 2 hours worth of like indie games like in a row.
Yeah, it was like solid, wasn't it? I couldn't believe how long it went.
Solid. It was literally like the indies of E3. Like it was great. It was so many games, and from that, it's crazy because there's a lot of games I didn't even expect. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, wow, I would actually play this because for those who don't know me, like last year, one of my top games that I played was Ashen. And that art style, I love that faceless art style and some of the combat involved. And there were several games like that. So I'm like, oh, shit, I can't wait for this to be released. So
nice.
And And then I don't know if it was Sanity who mentioned it. It might have been Sanity, where it was talking about how these type of shows showcase the indie games and how a lot of the small developers probably wouldn't get the chance to have these shows. Also want to piggyback on that a little bit about how some of the the PlayStation 5 showcase happened, right? The indies there also got a lot of views. Because of the I guess the stage that PlayStation is on. So that's another way to showcase indies in a greater light. That's why people are saying remove indies. I don't ultimately agree with that personally.
I don't,
because it just adds to the show, especially if the indie is good. Like everyone's on board with the whole was it Kenya, whatever.
Kenna.
Yeah, so that's like in everyone's lips now. But would that be the same if it wasn't on that show? So
exactly, yeah. They were shown on one of the other showcases as well after that, I believe. It was it's been so many, but it was shown on the PS5, and then they did a slightly deeper dive into the actual developer, which is really cool. But yeah, that game looks amazing. That developer, they've got like a really unique background of doing like basically like animation for like what's the animation studio biggest one in the world that does all the films? God, I've gone brain dead. Pixar. So that kind of, my God, so many films I watch these days. Gaming's taken over. But yeah, no.
So it should.
Yeah, so it should. But yeah, they've got that background. They've done a lot of high-profile clients and stuff like that. So they're really like nailing the animation side of it. So that's why it looks so polished, I think. And they're still an indie as well, which is so cool. But yeah, no, that's a good shout. And there was also that Solar Ash as well, wasn't that?
Yeah,
really cool?
Yeah. There's a couple games. What's the other one too? It's the survival, open world survival. It looks like they had a little bit of controversy with the tribal mask, but like the games themselves.
I can't remember too well. I usually turn off when it's survival. I have to admit. That's my.
If people in the chat, let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the indie game that just recently got a little bit of heat because of the tribal mass and the the racials.
Oh, the Devil Inside.
Yes, that one. That looks good too. There was a video that Chris Righteous posted. For those who don't know, and it goes a little bit of a deep dive on it. It's pretty good.
Nice. Good stuff. Yeah, so like we've been spoiled. We've like got so much we can draw from basically to talk about today. But it's ridiculous. We're spoiled, but yeah, no. Like I say, thanks for coming on FC because it's awesome to have you, my friend. Yeah, so I mean, going just sort of like going back to one of the comments where like the removable said about, which was, do you think we need these sort of events anymore, the big events? That was actually one of the questions I did line up because like the direct style is working really well. I've always enjoyed the Nindies directs and stuff like that from Nintendo, the way they do them. Do you guys just a quick spin around to like whip around? Do you guys think as a consensus, what do you think we need the big events still? Do we need the big E3 events and stuff like that? Go with Fastback first if you like.
If it does come back, I think it's going to evolve. I could see like what you've seen with Greg Miller, what he did with Guerrilla Collective. I could see them having that part of E3. So they might renegotiate with the E3 going forward, and maybe we'll see other people do the same thing. So I don't think E3 is going to be the same if it does come back to what it used to be. I don't, we'll see.
Yeah. You think it might be an online event, or is it going
to be a combination? Yeah, it might be a combination. It might maybe people could still go there, kind of like a PAX thing. It may not be as big on the show floor, but you'll probably see more online events like this.
Yeah, I think you will. I mean, I won't jump in on that. I'll just let everyone answer and I'll say what I was going to say. So Cooper, you want to jump on that, my friend?
I don't think the events will go away. I think the nice thing about the events is being able to play the games. Getting that's like PAX West and stuff went to last year, and that's the cool thing is walking around. I mean, you have all these like small indie developers. They have that whole indie showcase area where you can actually talk to the guys that are developing the game, and it's just great. I mean, that was like the best part of the whole show is just getting hands on with them and interacting. It's like if you're sometimes I'll be streaming a game and you'll have a developer pop in. You kind of have that back and forth with them, but to have that in person is just awesome. There's still a ton of games that you see in the showcase that don't get showcased on, even a show like that. So, or maybe they don't get enough time that you really get to appreciate it. And so, yeah, I think having the events is still important because it's just awesome to, if there's something in your area that you haven't been to, go check it out because it's just really cool get insight and experience to get in and talk to those guys and, experience the games hands-on and, that's so I don't think that'll go away. Hopefully that doesn't go away.
Thing, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I've lost who's in removal Senate. I don't think you've answered, have you?
What I think, to be honest with you, I think in a way it's answering my own question. In a way, I think it's going to evolve. Now, obviously, here in the UK, we do get an indie showcase called EGX Res, where you can actually sit down with a developer and play these indie games. I think what I'd like to see, if I was asking for it, I'd like to see where we knew that E3 is the big show for the AAA games, where everyone knows about it. I'd like to see almost a date or something that we could all celebrate for the indie titles alone.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's just this is the date for indie titles only. And that would be, so it doesn't detract from the big events. So you can still get those indie games in there. You can still get the PR. But I'd like to see a big indie game regularly every year event that we could all just sit down and go, right, it's indie event is on, let's and do the deep dive as we would do with the old the big AAA events. If they can do that, which I'd like to think they might be able to do now, maybe this has kind of pushed them in that direction. They've probably realized maybe it isn't that bad. I mean, probably one of the reasons they would do it is the reason why they probably have been hesitant is maybe due to cost, maybe due to time setting up. They're probably like, we can't do this. Maybe now they've realized it is actually a lot easier than they've possibly thought about. Maybe this will now push them into that. I'd like to hope so, but yeah, that's what I'd probably like to see.
Awesome. Yeah, no, definitely. That sounds fantastic. FC, you haven't answered on this one, have you, buddy?
No, sir. But yeah, I have to piggyback on the last person there. Like an indie palooza or something like that. That would be fire indeed. But I don't think this will be the end of the traditional model in a sense, because like I've always said, to replace going there, which I haven't been, I was supposed to, but to replace going there and getting the atmosphere and engaging with other fans and gamers and even seeing the publishers and developers that you might have more knowledge of or idolize or whatever, it's just different. It's not, you can't mimic that. It's like, for now, like for people in the UK or watching sports, like watching it on TV when there's no crowd is not the same as if you were watching it with the crowd. You know what I mean? That's my biggest thing, because I'm a big believer in passion and all those things, and like that's what I like. That's why indie games are great, because the developers put so much passion in them.
That's in your Twitter profile, isn't it?
Exactly.
Passionate gamer doing passionate content, my friend.
Exactly. So, I mean, I live by that. Just nothing beats seeing a game and then hearing the crowd and the excitement. Is like, oh, what's this? What's that? You know what I mean? Like, and you hear it, and that part I feel like should never go away. But I'm gonna agree with, I believe it was Fastback who said that the E3 needs to evolve, or these gaming conventions needs to evolve. Take what they learn from what have changed in the world and then apply it. But at the same time, don't go away from the traditional model, because it's just something you just can't replace.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, one of the best experiences, of my life, really. Obviously, excluding the marriage and all that stuff. Was going.
If Indy ends up in a closet, you know what happened.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to talk about that night.
Well, what I was going to say was one of the best experiences was when I went to EGX last year, and it was like
it's brilliant.
As soon as I'd done it, I was like, book me up for every EGX, into ever, basically, now, because I'm going every time. And I did book, and I signed up for EGX Res this year, which unfortunately got cancelled because of everything. And I was going to be going to the the other EGX as well, which is the slightly more, it's got a few AAAs there and stuff, but it's still
commercial.
a lot of indie focus. Yeah, but at the moment there's a lot going on, obviously, and what they're doing at the moment is really great because, in case you didn't know, actually, at the moment on Steam there is tons of demos you can try out of indie games. So if you do have access to Steam, I highly recommend going on there and having a look through, picking out some indie games to download and just try out, because that's essentially what you'll be playing, is playing those games that would have been on the show floor at one of these events. So they've done well to do something like that. And the Steam Festival is always good, and they're not on there for long, by the way. They're only on there till the 22nd, so make sure you jump on them and download those and try them out, because you might find something really cool. And then don't forget to wish list after. But I agree with you guys. It's definitely something that I want them to keep, but again, it will have to evolve in some fashion. But yeah, I think you've basically hit it on the head. The live events are so cool. Being able to chat with the actual developer and stuff like that is an amazing experience. So definitely want those to carry on for sure.
All the useless swag too.
Oh,
that's the swag, yeah. I was looking through some a minute ago, actually. Some of the badges,
10 lanyards and pins and stupid masks.
You gotta love that.
You bring back, yeah.
It's weird because like when
TV.
Yeah, definitely. Well, when I was at the last one, I grabbed like everything, and some of the games I didn't even know what, because I didn't get to play the game. I grabbed ridiculous. It like, and then a minute ago, I was looking through, and I was like, "Oh, that game was announced the other day." Do you know what I mean? Because it was like that's the thing, you get to play stuff before they're announced onto a broader audience a lot of the time as well. So,
also grab a business card, because 9 times out of 10, if you want to get in touch, and these indie developers are mostly friendly, they will actually speak to you, which is a great thing. You can actually get a decent, good communication. So grab a business card, and 9 times out of 10 you'll be like, hey, can I have a chat about what's going on now? Maybe you don't have to go too far in detail, and you actually it just helps them also, because I think sometimes they forget they're locked in their own world trying to get things done. Sometimes it's nice to hear a nice email come through saying, I loved your game, can you spend 5 minutes having a quick chat about it? It helps boost them up in terms of their energy.
Yeah,
I agree, because that's how I've been going to PAX South for the last, I think, 5 years, and awesome. I love talking to the indie devs there, and I've been able to get a couple of them on the NOG show.
Yes.
So it's and plus, not only talking about their current game, you learn their background. So I remember one of the devs, he used to be an engineer at AMD. So we're like, wow, that's interesting, And then the other one, he did artwork for BioWare, I think, on the Old Republic and some other stuff. So, there's more there with these devs than just a little game or whatever they're making.
Exactly, they come from so many different backgrounds, and they meet together. Like, a lot of the time, it might be a AAA developer who's decided, no, I've had enough of this AAA malarkey. I want to make my own game with my own vision, or something. It's always a different route. It might be the first game they've ever made. It might be.
Also, it does. It kind of also shows how much stress they're under and what they sacrifice to really get it out. As gamers, the first time I went to and spoke to an indie developer, and as you'll probably find out, I'll speak for Love or Money. When you start to realize and hear their backstories and hear what they have to go through to get the passion they have to get these games out, it makes me appreciate them even more. As a gamer, you see a game, you see a product, you play it, and then you can either criticize it, you can or you can say, "Oh, this is not so good." Once you hear the stress they have to go through, and they sometimes have full-time jobs at the same time, and a family to feed, and other commitments, as well as spending 4 to 5 hours a day getting it out. With 3 people getting something out that's absolutely amazing. Do you think it does? It just shows you. Yeah, it just shows you. Really, that's why I think it makes it there's much more passion there. You can see it in their eyes. You can see that in their bags. You can see it in their stresses. And that you don't get from a AAA. I don't think you see the product, where I think with maybe the indie developer, maybe it doesn't come across as much with the AAA, but definitely with indie developer, it's a personal touch for me. At least for me, it does feel a little more personal.
Yeah, it's like the Unto the End, that game. That's something you guys might have checked out.
It looks so good.
It does. Amazing, that game. That's a husband and wife team, so it's a very personal thing, and they are, if you want passionate devs, they are like they are the most passionate you'd probably find, like in the interviews and everything. They look so into the game and they love it basically. It's infectious just having that as well, but the game is awesome in itself anyway. But when they put in across that passion, it really carries through to the game. And you should definitely check out that game, Unto the End. We might show it in a little bit, and we probably get into that as well. But yeah, Unto the End is an awesome looking game. It's 2 Ton Studios as well, is the husband and wife team making it. So shout out to them because it's an awesome looking game. It's going to be out this year as well, and it's coming to Game Pass day 1. So pretty cool. So should we jump into a few of our favorite games that we've seen then, guys? Should we get into some of that action? What we do is we'll just do like a round. We'll go round and we'll choose maybe one game that we've seen throughout this period. It doesn't matter what event event it's come from. If you saw it at the PC Gaming Show, if you saw it at the Guerilla Collective, something that stood out to you. And I'll do my best to pull up some gameplay footage, and hopefully it won't stutter. But yeah, so if we start with who wants up first? Hands up.
I can do it. I got one already.
You got one? Let's go for it, man. I'll try and pull up something for it.
So all these games that I saw, and I saw a lot of great ones, but the one that got to me the most was Paradise Lost. Once I actually got a good dive in that on what that was about, I was like, wow, this is gonna be cool. A good exploration story, alternate. It's World War II, an alternate timeline where the Nazis towards the end, before they were losing, they shot nukes that nobody knew they had in Europe all around. And so I guess the Nazis were in the bunkers, but you play as a kid, a 12-year-old who comes upon one of these bunkers and goes in, and it's like, where is everybody? It's 20 years after, I think, but something happened, so he's investigating, what was going on. It's more than just, the Nazis and all that. So, yeah, that one stood out right away.
Nice. Now I've just got it ready. You finished talking about it. So that worked excellently.
Hey, let's see it. Come on. Let's see it.
Let's roll the trailer and then stop talking for 2 minutes.
Yeah, cool.
Let's see.
Because I don't got any more to say now.
Now you can convert it to Spanish, maybe, or something.
Yeah.
You speak Spanish, really?
Poquito.
Let's
that means a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So I went a bit dead on you because I was working out this system, and it looks to be working okay. Yeah. Cool. So you say it's a World War II game that we don't want adverts. Thank you very much.
Wolfenstein meets This War of Mine.
We could do some audio, maybe.
Yeah, because alternate timeline on that too.
Should we hear some audio, guys? We'll risk it.
Yeah, I think it has great music in it.
It's definitely an interesting story. So it'll be interesting how that plays out.
Yeah.
What other games that like, if you're thinking like top 3 that stood out to you in the forefront of your mind, what games would that be?
Who's that to? Sorry, to Fastback, yeah.
Yeah, Fastback.
Let's see. There was one here that had kind of, I think it was not Juggler's Tale. Man,
that looks good though. Juggler's Tale. I really like look at that. That's made by a student. That's a student project. Student project, actually. They're learning how to make games while they're making that game. So it's pretty incredible.
Okay, so what was it? Windbound. That was one.
Oh yeah,
I got a real good look at that.
That one looked really good. Yeah.
Yes.
You took mine, actually, you bastard.
And you can say it again.
There's plenty to go around.
There was another one that was a cyberpunk type RPG game deck.
Game deck. Yeah.
You took my other one. Son of a
Game deck was amazing. That's
all
like
all in the same boat. So those three kind of stood out for me as far as on the Escapist.
Yeah, Game Deck looks like a Disco Elysium, but like a cyberpunk version kind of thing.
But
really cool.
FC, if I know you were talking about what was it? The one game you were talking about the faceless.
Yeah, Ashen.
Ashen. There's one I don't know if you caught it, was Dreamscaper.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's like the similar art style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Yeah, those three so far. There's more though. Yeah.
There's literally been like probably 1,000 indie games.
Yeah, I know.
That's 3 days.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It really has. It really has.
The indie gamer here with the whip talking. Well, yeah, make sure you watch all 7 hours worth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that one kind of had a quiet Edith Finch vibe to it or something.
That did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna figure out what I'm doing. Stop that. I'm getting used to this, guys. You talk amongst yourselves. I'll get used to this part. Get rid of this guy. Yeah. So, was there any others that you enjoyed? But you enjoyed Game Deck? Would you say?
Game Deck looked good.
Game Deck looks really cool.
That did.
Have any of you guys actually played Disco Elysium?
I have it. I have a bad habit of playing games and not finishing them. But I played the first couple hours. I want to go back. It's interesting. The art style is dope, and the I guess the narrative, the way they narrate the game is very interesting. It has like a very how do you say it? What's that movie? Like Sin City kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has that type of vibe going for it. A lot of reading though. A lot of reading.
Yeah, I know.
Noir, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, Noir.
It's it's got a noir feel to it, isn't it? Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's deep, isn't it? That's the main thing about it. I think it's very deep, and there's a lot of reading. But then it's supposed to be one of the best PC exclusives, they say, one of the best games of the year. I think it did win it won Game of the Year.
It won RPG of the Year.
RPG of the Year, was it? Right? Yeah.
Wow.
It did. It won RPG of the Year last year. But
it's
just
very
a little
fleshed out.
Yeah, a little bit more on the Game Deck thing. I think what I gravitate towards it. First of all, I mean, obviously the cyberpunk aesthetic, which is interesting. But I like the fact I like games where it takes you you become a private eye or an investigator, and you have to try to figure out how to solve things. And I think they go a little bit more in depth in this game. I don't know. See the whole time we were talking, Indy, you should have had the game up. But anyway,
I know. It's up there now, my friend.
Right. So I'm over here talking about the different elements of the game. What is
I'm trying to keep up with your skills. I'm trying to take inspiration from the FC skills.
Like I said, man, it's not easy, man.
It's not. Yeah, no, I'm finding out. But yeah, it does look damn cool.
Really cool. They have the different trees, and I was reading some of the skills in there, I didn't it was some of the icons. One had a little Pinocchio symbol. So I'm thinking, is there a way to see if someone's lying or force a lie coming out or set them in a trap? It's just, and then the narration is talking about how they don't care how you solve it. It's just, it's you're not judging on how you do it. So there's multiple ways to solve a problem or to get past the scenario. So it's interesting. I don't know. Definitely.
Wasn't that the one they said? There was one, wasn't it? There's a skill path where you actually save someone or you don't save someone,
exactly.
And then that spiraled into multiple different choices.
Yeah.
Whichever choice you made, which was just wow, that's a big tree.
This one a rich dialogue tree.
Super in depth.
Definitely more than Anthem did. Oh man! Even though I enjoyed Anthem,
rip BioWare, man. One of the legends that just crashed and burned.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, that's what happened.
So
that's just a perfect example.
Cyberpunk. Yeah, go on. So you're a Cyberpunk fan then. So did you actually catch Anno Mutonium, which is a Cyberpunk 16-bit sort of game?
No,
that was from
that was
Future Gaming, I think I saw it on.
Okay, right. I'm going to check that out.
So I totally lost that. I just had two screens open. I was like, hang on, how many people were in it? I actually seen that game. The Anna was it Mutationium or something like that?
It's Mutatuonem.
Yeah,
I wrote it down, so don't think I'm clever.
Do you know who put me onto that FC? That was actually your good compatriot, Kofi.
Oh, Kofi, yeah.
Kofi, because Kofi thought I told him about it, and he was like, he said, thanks for letting me know about this, and by telling like in Twitter, and I was like, no, you're telling me about it now, basically. I was like, cheers, it looks really good. But yeah, I'll try and pull that one up. Yeah, keep them flowing, guys, and I'll pull some as you keep going.
Nice.
If that's all right.
Oh, I mean, who's up next? I just wanted to piggyback on Fastback, seeing how he stole all my choices.
We can all share.
Yeah.
I'll jump in. The one I'm looking forward to, Indy knows I've been looking forward to this game forever, is Carrion from
yes. Oh god. And they announced it, isn't it? I think they've actually said it's coming on the Switch. I saw Karen, they did it like it was on the Switch earlier today. I think like the Switch is coming out soon, so get ready for the what's it called? The release date or something. I'm sure I spotted something on Twitter.
So.
Yeah, it did say that.
Yeah. Gaming just said something in chat about wish listing the game, and then like when it comes, that game's been on my wish list for like over a year, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
It just looks amazing, doesn't it? It just looks.
Yeah, me too.
They had it at PAX West last year. They had a playable level.
I've played the demo of it, actually. It's really good.
You saw it. I'd love to play that.
Yeah.
I looked at it. It's like,
it's fantastic. So fast.
It is a little bit odd, though. It's so much potential, and also I'm really hoping it's good, because like it is like, you know what I mean, with the mechanics. I don't know how they're going to work it so it's always fresh, and because you're basically a big bowl of like crap, of
sort of repetitive, you mean? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
it
looked like you grew and you actually tried to learn abilities to get further and progress further within the levels.
Right.
You grow by killing things, basically. Every time you
in terms of grow, I mean, you mutate a new ability upon which then you could further move into different areas. So I think certain areas, if I remember correctly from the demo, is locked off until you learn the smash ability, but I'm assuming that's going to carry over onto the bigger levels.
So
even in the demo that they had, you evolve. I mean, it's pretty short, but you do evolve a little bit just in that, and just in the, like you say, in the enemies that you consume, and it's just a really fast, fluid gameplay.
Yeah, I like the pixel art in it. Actually, it's really nicely done.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Is that why they call it reverse horror game?
Because you're the bad guy, basically. Yeah, exactly. But
reverse horror.
It is a cool game.
Yeah.
But like I say, just hope on how much longevity it's got. If you know what I mean, it's.
I mean, they could do anything. They could add in a new. They could actually add in a new monster, new abilities. They could evolve it as long as
they could do anything, but will they? You know what I mean? You could say that. You could say could do anything into anything. You know what I mean?
This is true.
But like, it's whether it incorporates into their game design. But yeah, it looks like an awesome game for sure. Did you play the demo of it, Coop? Did you actually play it? Or
yeah, they had the developer booth.
How did you feel that it played for like gameplay wise?
I loved the fluidity of it. I love it was like it's a game that like looks like Dead Cells, but just has that fast, fluid movement where you run around the map. It was just had a really cool feel to it. And it was short, but I just wanted more. I was like, oh man, I can get into this. It was just fun. It was just a fun mechanic. And I can see what you mean, like where, it's sort of one trick where, it could sort of after a few levels. But we'll see. That's what I'm curious to see how they do evolve the game. Because, I mean, it's been in development forever. So I'm hoping that they're doing hopefully it comes out polished and
hopefully, it's the Devolver, isn't it, who are publishing it? So which is right up their street, isn't it? It's kind of quirky and vulgar kind of thing.
Coop, I could have sworn you would have picked Boyfriend Dungeon.
Well, I actually had that down for Indy.
It is.
I remember seeing that one in development for a couple of years at PAX South, and to the point where it's at. My daughter would mess around with it, so it's like, yeah, you could play that, and it's not for me.
Oh man.
I'm trying to think. Was there that one that they did where you run around as a deer?
Oh,
what the heck was the name? The West.
Yes, I think it was.
Way to the Woods.
Oh, Way to the Woods. That wasn't at these showcases, but yeah, that was at the Xbox showcase.
Oh man, that's bad memories, bro.
Yeah.
That was not good for me.
That's been made
what
by
is
one
Bambi
guy,
doing here?
I think that looked awesome. I love.
I mean, I love indies, but again,
different in there.
Yeah, but if you're expecting like AAA or some games from Xbox, that's the last thing I wanted to see.
I couldn't remember.
No offense to that game.
I think I saw it PAX, but yeah, it's.
Oh, okay. It was E3.
So FC, like you say about a PlayStation, you didn't mind a few smaller games on their stage. Was it because of the quality was good enough for you? Is that what it comes down to?
For which so for it to work for me, you have to have other games around it, like bigger games with production and things like that to balance it out. If you have the Deer game and that was the biggest highlight, that shouldn't be the biggest highlight if it's an indie game for a first party. You know what I mean? Your first party game should be the biggest highlight, and that's the issue that I had.
Well, yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's in there as a kind of like giving it a chance in the limelight.
Right.
I think that's the kind
of. But the thing is, though, instead of giving it a chance, you're giving it, ridicule. People were like me when I was on vacation, pissed off. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is this? instead of being like, oh, you know what? The show is pretty good. All these first party, I can't wait. Halo, blah blah blah, Fable. And then you know what? It's a sleeper, that Deer game. See, that's how it should have been.
Well, that's bug snacks in there for you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know about that. That's all Reggie. Shout out to Zero. That's his game. But like the way they did it, they had their first party, Ratchet and Clank, Horizon Zero Dawn too. I don't like that game, but you already know. But that's a big game, and the Gran Turismo, things like that. They had their first party showcase games around some of the indies that look good, and it made it shine more. Like if it was just, well, I don't know. I think the Kenya would have been fine by itself, but the other games, if it would say if it was just that, and those like 5 games, and boom, there's the PlayStation 5 showcase, and then you end it. Man, you don't think would have got vitriol? It would have got a lot of vitriol, but they did it right, So.
They did do it right. I mean, so there's another question for you along those lines. With the Xbox showcase, in that same showcase, they had Spiritfarer. I don't know if you remember that game.
Oh yeah, kind of looked like Old Man's Journey or something.
Yeah. That looked good. That looked good.
So you're happy for that quality? There's more quality thing kind of than anything else.
But then again, like everyone has their takes on indie. Some like. Doesn't matter what type of indie, and they'll like it like you because you think Ori's not the best indie in the world, which it is.
No, you would get me. Yeah.
But
you always get me wrong on that because that's pretty much one of my favorite indie games. It's just the fact that Hollow Knight is the greater one.
No, negative, sir, negative. But see, I'm just saying, like some people, what's good to you might not be good to other people, and that's fine. And there's just a showcase for all those guys, but again, it just has to be, I feel like, heightened if it's around other things. But having an individual showcase where it shows nothing but indies could also help, or select few indies that are very close to AAA polish, or games that like, man, these guys are really talented, like a Plague's Tale, you know what I mean, or things like that. Like that, I feel like would shine because of the quality of it. That's all. But I mean, Bug Snatch, for kids or people who are Nintendo fans.
That was in there for memes only, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just the balance for me. That's all. I mean, especially for Xbox, people have been hungry for first party development, and you're showing nothing but indies. That's not going to be a good sign. And hopefully in July it's supposed to be a first party showcase, and if it's nothing but indies again, no, believe me, I'm gonna riot.
No, I don't think it will be. I mean, it wasn't too long ago they had an idea at Xbox. They had a little show. It wasn't inside Xbox.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
so they do a little good. All they did was show games, so they showed a good mix there. I think
they did, and I wasn't too like sad or mad about that. It was a third party showcase, but I'm just saying, like, it's because for some reason I feel like sometimes Phil. I don't want to change or debunk this whole topic. Is like, I know he has guns in his arsenal, like Fable. Like, just drop Fable. That's all you got to do. As simple as that. Just do it.
Well, we might be surprised in July.
I still don't think Fable's coming, but we're moving off now.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, didn't mean to.
That's all right. No worries, buddy. I know you usually whip your geezers into shape if they deviate. But yeah, no, it's good. No, it's good conversation on that. Definitely. You might have noticed I've been playing Unto the End over and over again.
Yeah, great.
Basically, so we can quickly talk about it for a little minute.
That looks so good.
The PR they're getting, they must love this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, like what separates? I guess it depends on if you're like a gamer that plays a lot of different genres. In this game, it kind of covers a lot of different genres. It seems like the combat. It's not soul-ish, but it seems to punish you if you make a mistake, which is good. That's one criteria. Second is the art style. Art style is pretty clean. It looks good. It gives it that narrative vibe or feel like it's telling a story. You know what I mean? Story of journey. And I got to listen to this. I don't know how the sound is, but just the way.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very
exactly. All that stuff put together, it just makes it look fire, and I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, it does look good.
You should check out my video, buddy.
Oh, no, I've been slacking, man. I didn't get back on it. No. Shout out, hey, here we go. Everyone in the comment section, smack that like button. Share this out.
Thank you. Definitely, guys. Just quick shout out also to all you new guys. Apologies, I haven't said hello. Basically, Chief Nagel, it's awesome to see you in the chat, my friend. Thanks very much for popping in. And Kofi's still there, the legend. Thank you very much for staying, buddy. Always great to see you. And Nano Polymath is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Invader Gaming, awesome to see you, my friend. Thanks for popping in. Mars Mayhem, I don't know if you're still here, but thanks for popping in, my friend. All of you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for popping in. Smack that like button. As FC Violence says, he is the man in charge of the like button. So like just one more time, we'll play that through onto the end. But yeah, it's damn good. I'm loving it. As I say, I played through the demo. There's a video on the channel if you wanted to check out that video where I played through the full demo. And it's it just feels really good. Like the main, I mean, looking at it, it looks beautiful. I think that the art style is perfect for the tone, but the combat is just so well done. It's way better than you would ever imagine. It's like feels really heavy. It's like there's a lot of weight to it, like I say, and
it seems to have like a high, mid, low thing going on too. So it's not simple. It's not just a simple block. Like you gotta guard the low, maybe jump or duck. So that's
what it is you have to block attacks, obviously, as you can see, but you have to block either high or low, and you can attack either high or low as well, and you can also fake as well. So you can sort of go in for a fake attack, and then they like move, and then you get a low attack in thereafter. But it's very tactical.
Right.
There's a lot of thought gone into it, and it works so well. And it's like I say, it's a two-person team, and I think the most of the programming is done by the husband, he's called Stephen Danton, I believe, and the wife is more about the art side of things. So a good little combo they've got going on there.
Good combo.
Yeah, I just think it's looking really good. And you can check out a demo on Steam, actually, at the moment. If you did want to check out a demo of Unto the End, I highly recommend it. But yeah, I think maybe we should move on. I've played that trailer about 8 times. But yeah, just quickly, shout out to Cybergunner. Thanks for popping in, my friend. Awesome to see you. So Coop or Fastback, you got any games, or anyone who got any games, I'll pull them up if you want to move on to.
Coop, if you got another one.
Yeah,
I can pull one if you haven't got one ready, but
D-Leveled. You guys ever heard of D-Leveled?
Yeah, that looks cool. It's a bit like that. It's a bit like that game that came into Game Pass recently, isn't it? But it's like a physics game, isn't it, with a bouncing ball? Yeah. I'm just trying. What's the game?
I remember
the other day?
That was a fun one.
Yeah, that looks kind of cool. It's cool, like a brain teaser, isn't it? Do you want me to pull that one up quickly?
Yeah. And well, it hasn't come out yet. They had a bunch of levels at the
it's coming out soon, I think, isn't it? Actually,
I should be. I think they were shooting for spring, but obviously they didn't hit that mark. So that's when I've been playing for a while.
Couple games that I'm wanting to release haven't came out yet.
Yeah. It says summer 2020. So.
Is that
really fun?
Bigger games or sort of smaller games? Is that FC or
the smaller games, like the ones in a couple of I think it might have been 2 months ago or a month ago that you did like indie highlights or indie things that you're looking forward to. The one that you're like a band like a punk star or rock star with it's like super colorful, that game.
Oh, that's the Artful Escape, I think you're talking about.
Yeah, the Artful Escape. There's another one that was in Xbox E3 about I think 2 E3s ago where you're like I think you were in Asia somewhere. I forgot what it's called. But it's like side scrolling. I think they were having issues development like finainely.
It was a cyberpunk-ish type, right? It was
a little bit, yeah.
Last night,
last night, exactly. Yeah. So that's another one.
They've had quite a few issues, with
and then the Zelda one, the Fox Zelda.
Tunic, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I did play that at PAX South.
There's a couple missing.
Yeah. I mean, those ones are the big ones, aren't they? They keep coming up with on Twitter, like, where's Tunic? And then it gets like 1 million likes, and everyone's like, yeah, where is it? And then like a few months later, where's Tunic? 1 million likes. Oh, where is it?
So like we were talking about, like, some of these devs sometimes they're doing this stuff by themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that maybe an issue with money and time, and they do try to reach out to other people out there to try to get help.
Yep.
So
that's the struggles, man, of indie gaming. It's just, especially if it's a small team, they don't have a Q&A or not Q&A, but the quality control team.
Yeah,
they don't have a team they could translate. You know what? You program the foliage, and we'll just program the music. You know what I mean? That's a lot going on.
Yeah,
for definite. Yeah, I mean, Tunic is being made by one guy, and probably one guy and like a sound guy basically as well. So you can. I think they're wanting to keep it quite a small scale thing. So you understand
looks it.
Good, though. Beautiful game.
Yeah, it looks good.
I'm a member of the Discord it's being published by Finji, that game. So you can join the Discord if you want to keep up to date with it. That's what people on Twitter should do. Stop asking every 5 minutes, where is it? You know what I mean? Like, just join the Discord and you'll know, because Andrew Toldis is in there. He's developer. So.
Another game I want to throw out there real quick. Plus, I had tagged Daz because he loves his racing games. Was Hot Shot Racing.
Oh, nice! I was going to say that one myself. Good shout. Yeah, definitely.
That was a good looking.
I'll pull that one up.
Arcade.
Shout out to Daz, by the way.
Yeah. Dazzy baby. Yeah. Hope you're doing good, bud. Thanks for popping in. I know you're in there somewhere. Hot Shot Racing looks super cool. Actually, Daz put me onto that game originally. I knew about a different racing game. There's loads of good racing games coming, indie racing games. There's like Circuit Superstars, which is amazing. There's The Art of Rally, which is really cool. I'll show that in 1 second. Well, that was at the that was at one of these shows recently, a new trailer. It finished the Escapist showcase. So if you watch the Escapist, I think it was the Escape. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it is.
And the last trailer of that was The Art of Rally, and it was pretty damn awesome looking. I've played the demo of that as well. It's quite challenging. It's quite realistic handling, so you can't it's not like an arcade racer. It's like proper rallying, if you know what I mean. I'll get that up. You guys keep it talking, and I'll do a bit of searching for stuff.
I just want to make sure other people, because I talk when I'm not hosting.
I'm glad someone else is, because otherwise you'd have to shut me up. So that's nice to hear. I mean, I've got 3 in mind, but
there you go.
I don't know whether it's going to freak a few people out, because they're completely different to each other. So the 3 that I picked up, and I know Indy spotted one of them already. The real one that caught my eye was called The Eternal Cylinder.
People talk about
and it's basically, it looked like an alien world with this huge cylinder just consistently follows you behind, stops and moves, and it destroys everything in its path. Just the art style itself just looked absolutely weird, which is perfect for me. Another one I kind of spotted on, and this is for the old heavy metal heads out there, Metal Hellsinger. Which is a first-person shooter, and you basically kill things in beat with the music behind you. As you kill things, it ramps up and ramps up until it goes into a full heavy metal rift, as you're literally just mowing down demons left, right, and center. And finally, a complete and utter swift. This is for those who like their stories. Haven, which is a couple set on a planet, and by the sounds of it, they're just mopping up this alien sludge as they go around. It's more a story of how this couple's trying to survive. But those who are looking at the screen right now, you'll see this is the Eternal Cylinder, which just looks crazy, as you can see. And anything weird I like, so
that's cool. Yeah, it does look weird. It looks cool though. It's a really good trailer, I thought. It's the one that opened it, wasn't it? Open the day.
They did a deep dive about a day later, which was actually quite nice. They shared a little bit more about the gameplay sort of thing.
What were they saying? So they say much insight, or
it gave you a little bit more in terms of how the world is open. You have to adapt, explore, and move around, but this constant threat, this unmovable threat, which you can't defeat, is consistently. So at the same time, it's going to be a challenge, I think, for them. It's going to be a challenge for it not becoming frustrating, where this huge cylinder doesn't become too annoying. At the same time, at the same time, provide a challenge, which I think it looks like it is going to be. I think they'll do it. But from what I've seen so far, it just seems right up my alley. But then again, I'm weird, so.
It is. That's cool. Everyone kept saying. Don't know if you were watching the chat, anyone, but everyone kept saying that the cylinder has broken the stream because everyone kept calling the cylinder. So when they didn't like any indie games, they were like, "Bring in the cylinder."
That's it.
They were being total idiots, basically. I couldn't help but laugh a few times. But yeah, everyone thought the cylinder broke it because they played this trailer twice and it was smooth, and then every time it broke on the next trailer. But yeah, got it in the end. It's tricky, I guess. I think they were trying to put it out as high quality as possible, if you know what I mean. But they had to lower it a little bit in the end.
Exactly. I said the other one is the Haven and Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah, they're both.
The Metal Hellsinger, if you're a heavy metal fan and you like Doom, it immediately ticks every box.
Yeah, that was a neat demo. I did see that. The demo that looked awesome, fast, fun.
Where you get that gun right away, right? From a demon. Is that the one?
I think so. Yes. That's right. She gives you a gun, and then you go through a portal, and then it just gets crazy from there on.
Yeah.
That looked neat. That Haven, was that was kind of the survival one where you got a certain amount of time to get off the planet or something, or?
I don't know. I think it's a couple. It's a co-op couple thing, which is almost like a skater thing because they're flying around on these, picking up, I don't know, cleaning up the planet, but at the same time trying to
hoverboard. Kind of thing.
And they're trying to also, I think they're trying to survive, but also fix their ship to get off the planet. And it had this kind of, it was a mixture of genres. It had this looked like a very in-depth story. So if you like your story, it seemed to have something quite nice there. At the same time, it had this quite almost, I'm trying to think of the game. What's the Insomniac one on the Xbox? It had a kind of, oh God, what's the one they did in there?
You mean, oh God, Sunrise. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is the exclusive, wasn't it?
Yes, the Insomniac exclusive on Xbox.
You know this.
Oh dear God.
Sunset Overdrive?
That's it, yeah.
That's it. That sort of like almost feel to it where you're just basically skating across an entire area.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that sounds pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Again, did anyone actually catch Evil Genius 2? That was a bit of a... Anyone remember the original?
I don't. I mean, I probably saw the game. I've never played it. But it did look kind of fun, though. The footage they showed, kind of the world builder where you're building the, doomsday weapon or whatever.
Yeah, you play as basically the bad guy sitting on this, volcanic island, and basically you're trying to destroy or become. I think it's just become master of the planet sort of thing. But you take the role of you being the bad guy, and I think that was quite a bit of a strange one. But that's like, oh, here you go, Metal Hellsinger. I'll shut up now.
No, you can carry on. The only thing I thought about this one, they spoke about it for far too long. Who's the voice actor guy again? They've got Troy something.
Baker.
Troy Baker, I think. Yeah. A big name, isn't he? I believe. Yeah. Did you notice about this game though? It's actually a rhythm game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
It's not actually just done for the trailer in time. It's actually you get points for shooting
in
on
the beat.
the beat. Yeah, so which is pretty interesting. Hopefully,
even
not
like
annoying.
the reload sound was
Yeah.
kind of in beat. It was great.
Exactly. I think it'll be quite an adrenaline fueled game, if you know what I mean, where you just got, I mean, obviously it's got that Doom feel anyway, but I think that I don't know if I said that bit early, but then, you know, with the rhythm thing, that will keep you sort of like really engaged, I think, and playing to the rhythm, and hopefully it won't be slightly annoying for certain people who've got really bad rhythm, but but if you play drums, you'll be all right. No, it should be good, I think, keeping that going. It might, like big chains of like, you know, kills will be pretty cool. But yeah, look, pretty cool. But the way they were talking was like they were just on the phone to each other. It was kind of odd.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're having a casual conversation about, you know, just I'll see you tomorrow then, like, you know what I mean? But you know, it went on slightly long. I'm being negative now because the game looks awesome and that's what matters.
Well, speaking of music and rhythm, I think there was another one, Bird and Cage.
The rock one, right?
Yeah, interactive symphonic metal album.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm trying to look for one game while you guys are talking.
There's also if you like your Neon, there's a very similar sort of thing to this first-person shooter. It's called Get to the Orange Door.
Yeah,
that's cool. I've featured that on my channel before. Actually, I don't know if you remember it. In my PAX East video, they had that at PAX. If anyone went to PAX,
and then I think Stubbs was saying something about that one that he liked.
Get to the Orange Door. It's like a neon-soaked like FPS, basically. Yeah.
And also Neurodriver. Do you remember that was seemed to be trying to remind what the hell it was though. There were so many. Trying to just.
Sorry, I'm just pulling up stuff here, left, right, and center. So you're going from one game to the other. 1 second. So,
but overall, though, I think the amount they showed, just if we're struggling to remember every single game that was on there, just kind of shows the amount they threw at everybody. I think the only thing it would probably
shows too. All throughout the week, there was like every day there was some new showcase. It was amazing.
Well, it felt like Indie Week. Indie Week.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, so this is Hot Shot Racing. So is it Fastback who mentioned that? Take the floor, my friend, if you want to talk about it.
No, I mean, it just, I thought it looked fun.
It looks so good.
Art, just, you know.
This reminds me of VR Racer.
Yeah.
What was that one that just came out that you showcased last month, Indy?
That was
Formula Retro.
Formula Retro Racing. That's right. Yeah. That's the one I knew about before, and then Daz knew about this one, and then I told Daz about that one. He told me about this one, and Daz picked up Formula Retro Racing as well, and he's 1000G'd it. There you go. Shout out, Daz.
Of course he has.
Achievement hunter. He did that with one hand, apparently. I think.
Yeah.
So he's the man, you know. But yeah, no, this looks a damn awesome game. I think the four-player split screen is pretty damn cool thing to have in the game. I just think it's going to be one of those games which are infectious fun as well.
Yeah, just a fun pickup, you know, nothing serious.
Exactly, 60 FPS. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's coming out quite soon as well. It's in the summer.
Well, it showed there, yes. Well, I thought it said spring, so we're kind of past that.
Nice. Right. Yeah, we're kind of in there now, aren't we? Yeah. This might be an old trailer, possibly.
So Indy, are you ready for my choices? I was trying to hold on.
I'm very ready, my friend. Go for it.
Yeah. So, like my good buddy Sanity says, they're all kind of different from each other. One of them is looks like an RTS game. This is all from the Escapist Indie Showcase, by the way, so that should help you out, Indy.
If you say Art of Rally, I love you.
Yeah, Stronghold Warlord is one I was looking into because I like strategy games, and this one looks like it's based in somewhere in Asia. I want to say China, but I'm not exactly sure.
I think
it's China.
Yeah, this one.
I remember seeing it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So good, I love RTS games, and
it did look cool.
And it's definitely, and it's an indie, so I'm definitely gonna try that out. Another one I looked into now. Guilty pleasure of mine. So Game Pass, right? There's a game. I think it's called Bombers Elite, I believe. Where it's side scrolling and you have like I think couple pilots and you move them while you're like trying to repair stuff and then go into like first person and have them try to take out other planes. I think it's called Bombers something. It's on Game Pass. It's definitely an indie. But that game that I'm looking at is similar and it's called what's it 115 mark? Sail Forth, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Obviously, yeah.
That's quite a sort of. It's kind of neutral, sort of like art style, isn't it? Quite a sort of subtle art style kind of thing.
Exactly. That's why. That's why I said it looks like the Bomber. I think it's called Bomber Elite or Bomber Dangers or something like that. Similar art style, and one that you're sailing, and it's just cool. It's just something you could just pick up and play. Yeah, that's one thing I like about indies because sometimes if you don't have a lot of times to play, like you want something just to pick up and just have fun with. Games like Sail Forth is something you could definitely do. Put some mindless hours into, and then just have fun without the stresses of trying to like remember a combo or try to look at a map that has like a billion things on it. Shout out to Ubisoft. You know, things like that. And so the last couple ones, right? Last couple ones. One of these that I saw when I was looking at it, it's called Lost Worlds Beyond the Page.
Another one.
That game looks interesting because I think they use like child psychology involved in it and how it tells a story through a girl, right? Through a young girl, right? And that was interesting. I mean, I want to know more about it and see how it plays out. But the fact that they're using different methods involved into making video games is interesting. It's almost like how Ninja Theory did their whole like psychosis and things like that when they made their game Hellblade.
Yeah.
So in the last but not least, something that I don't know, for some reason it just looks interesting to me because it's weird, but also kind of makes sense. This one is called A Juggler's Tale.
That's one of mine, definitely.
Yeah. So it's like the characters are they're like puppets on a string, and and they have to, and you're playing the game knowingly knowing that you are a puppet and the strings play a part in the game, whether it be through puzzles or interacting through things. The strings are always going to be a factor, especially in the movement and the way to get around in the map is pretty cool. So they
did a deep dive on that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did a little bit.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. That was actually really unique because didn't they say they actually created the art style themselves?
Yeah. They even had a little bit of mocap too with the string. Yeah, with the actual string. Like someone had the string
that was it.
Just to mimic the movement. That's just cool,
one
man.
That's being made by this. That's a student project. That game.
Is that one? Yeah, probably. I think you're right.
It is. So, they're studying at the moment, and it's being sort of funded through the university or whatever.
That is super. That's just super creative and super. Yes, you're right, because they're talking about while they were in school, they're thinking about making a game about puppets.
Yeah.
And then
actually, they're not in gaming school. I think it's filmmaking school.
Filmmaking. Oh wow. Okay. And they're like, no, what? Let's do it.
But they prefer to make games, and they're like, I think that I just thought it was a more fun idea. I think they chose the wrong course. I reckon. You know what I mean?
Like, you know what? Instead of filmmaking, we should have probably done C++ or Java. But yeah, those are the 4 indies, man. They're all different, and they're definitely games that I would play. They're all weird. I love them.
I like that. I mean, I know I know you like your strategy, which is cool. You like your Frostpunk and stuff, don't you?
Yes. There was another indie they didn't showcase, but I don't know if it was your channel indie, or saw someone else. It's a Frostpunk-ish, but it's like the summer, right? Where you have to survive like the droughts and the severe heat. And I'm like,
I remember seeing that. Yes.
I'm buying day one. Like, I forgot what the name of it is, and I should know better. But India, this is your time to show your prowess, and you're failing me here, sir.
Yes, I am. I have to admit, strategy is not my
man
forte.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I forgot. What
it's related. More of a
no. It's like Frostpunk, but it's in the summertime. You have to go drops. It's like post nuclear war. You got to.
Oh, is that Atomicrops? Not.
Is that it?
No, not Atomicrops, is it?
Yeah, I don't know what the name is, but it's similar to Frostpunk, but instead of the blitz, like the insane cold, you have to worry about the insane heat. It's I don't know. Now I gotta Google it. God damn it.
Is it what sort of art style is it? Is it sort of pixel art, or is it what sort of thing? Anyway, I'm gonna get the problem is
like Frostpunk.
No, it's probably not Atomicrops. But because I'm trying to pull up your trailers while I'm trying to.
Right.
Sorry, I've probably been a bit vacant.
There you go, Juggler's Tale.
While you guys talk, I'll look for it. Yeah, they did a good job with that. Yeah, and then they showed how they made the puppet animation, so it's not just 3D, and they're actually using a person.
Yeah, I really like the fact that the narrator's really cool, and he's apparently he's in the game as well, so he narrates you all the way through it, which is what I've heard anyway. But yeah, like it's cool with the puppet strings are part of the puzzles and stuff. I think that's cool and clever.
Yeah, like they do get in the way. You have to be careful, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know? But the art is done so nicely as well.
Yeah, another beautiful game.
Like the color grading of it and things like that are beautiful.
So y'all notice a trend throughout a lot of these shows that cyberpunk is a thing.
Yeah,
you know, the cyberpunk theme, and then for some reason cats. Like there was one on the Guerilla about a cat on the hoverboard.
Oh, definitely cats. Yeah,
ponies.
Yeah,
or unicorns. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and there's also that Calico game. Have you seen that one where you can ride a cat around?
Yeah,
that's a bit girly. That one.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird. That one.
I found the game. It's called Surviving the Aftermath.
Oh, hang on, we don't have Ratchet and Clank.
It's
called what? Sorry.
Surviving the Aftermath. That's what the game is
called.
I
don't know if I've seen that one actually.
Where was that shown on Guerilla? I could have sworn I saw them talking about that.
Yeah, it's a I like city building too, so post-apocalyptic city builder.
Well, if you're really into cats and you're really into tactics, Space Cat Tactics.
It's in the
where you are in space and you have a ship and your ship is controlled by cats. There you go.
What was it, the Gato Roboto or whatever that one that just came out?
Yeah, Gato Roboto. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that.
You're the cat.
Yeah, exactly.
FC, you were talking about strategy games. Did you notice Iron Harvest?
Oh, that was the one I was trying to think of. Yes, that's been in development though since 2017.
So yeah,
can you put up the video, Andy? I want to see this.
They
what are you looking for? Sorry,
Iron Harvest.
So you can play the demo on Steam, I think now.
I'm about to check that out.
And then what's cool, of course, it's you know the Euro calendar, the way. So if it's what 1920. Was it Iron Harvest 1920?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's.
That's the date. They asked, well, what's the release date? Said it's right there, 1920. You know, the Euro calendar. So,
yeah, the joke was that it makes sense if you're in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, they had Toby.
Did they do a Kickstarter for that?
Yes.
Or might have been. Yes.
And they had a guy, Sir Toby, who. He's a PR guy. He was PR guy for Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Wow, that's a good game too.
And so he's also doing this too. So
I hate ads. IGN always got like 100-year ad at the start of their videos. Anyway.
But yeah, you can go to Steam and play the demo.
I'm about to check that out. I'm hoping Indy puts it up. But another game too. I know it's not in the showcase. Well, I haven't seen it, and I've been pretty vocal on it on Twitter. It's Empire of Sin, man. I saw.
Yeah, that looks cool.
I can't wait to play that.
I think that was on the first Guerrilla Games show.
Was it?
Yeah, they did a nice little dive on.
I need something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did have more details on that, didn't they? It was showing you the factions and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I've pulled up probably a bad trailer for this, haven't I? This is not what we want, is it?
Did you put
there? It goes. No, it goes into that. It goes into that. It actually is. This is like the pre-movie before it kicks into the actual gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I thought it was very interesting. Like they were showing how, so like some of the enemies, they can drop their weapon. Let's say they have a flamethrower, right? And so I think if you kill them, you can send your engineer to go pick up that flamethrower, and then they can use the flamethrower. So they have some interesting stuff in there that's different. Okay. Yeah.
And to teach people how to play the game, you actually start off. I think the idea is you start off as a child.
Yeah.
And that's how they teach you how to play the game through snow fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah, that I did see the gameplay playthrough of that, like the deeper dive on it. I saw that. Yeah. It does look good, actually. The guy didn't do very well, though. So he failed pretty quickly.
He just rushed them, and he's like, "You have to build a base." What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me just pull up one quickly. You guys have a little thing. I've got something. What I want to.
Did anyone actually see? It's a weird one. It's called Vigil.
Oh yeah, that looks cool. Yeah,
where you basically it looks like it's almost like it's like you're a ball. Then as you run on the ground, then as you get into the air, you turn into almost like a frisbee, and it just.
Oh, that's a different game. I think you're talking about. Vigil's a side-scrolling, kind of like Castlevania, kind of. Vigil.
Oh, I probably am.
Yeah, I think you might be thinking of. Oh, what is it? Skelly or something?
Could be that. Could be that. Then.
Are you a ball basically?
It looks like you're a ball, and then as you like fly off into the sunset, you can actually basically become a.
Was it X-1 or something? That game
could be, yeah.
Sorry, it's not Vigil though. Vigil's it's like side-on 2D.
No, Vigil is the actual 2D. Yeah, it almost looks like a Dark Souls sort of game, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
That had almost like a 2D art style to it. That looked actually really quite good.
Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to do this if you quickly hold on.
In other news, for people watching this later, I just want to highlight the fact that they're trying to pimp out Daz's mom.
So
reading this going, what on earth?
Daz has no shame.
Wow.
Okay, Dazzy baby, got something for you. I got something for you, Daz. This is just for you, my friend. Hang on. And it's not the old man trailer either, if you're wondering. Did anyone see that trailer with the old man in it? That was horrendous. Anyway, let me just get this working. Let's see.
This is where it breaks the stream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm real big on open world games. Y'all notice Lucen? That one looks pretty good.
I've seen Lucen, yeah.
There you go, Daz. Check this bad boy out. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
This is cool. It's a really cool game. I think this is going to be one of the best of the year, racing wise, at least. If not.
That is a bold statement to make.
Oh, it's good, man. I played it. It's a lot of fun. I played it at first at EGX, and I was standing right next to the developer, and I was failing, and it was bad because it's quite tricky. It's not the easiest. The handling is quite, it's realistic.
Sensitive.
Essentially, it's not just forgiving, and you can slam it around the corner. You do have to weight it correctly, etc. But yeah, no, it looks a really cool game. And some of the cars look damn cool. The photo mode in it is really cool as well. But yeah, I think it's going to be really good. And Circuit.
So is it less arcadey? Is it semi?
It is probably in between the two, I would say. Okay. I think his last game was called Absolute Drift. I don't know if you heard of that. Game.
This reminds me of that. I didn't know.
Oh, really? Cool. That's cool. Yeah, that game was harder apparently. Yeah, this one's been softened on the difficulty level, so which is still hard though. But it's not too hard though. Don't get me wrong. It's where you sort of have to learn it. That's all. You have to just you don't always hold your finger on the accelerator and all the way around the track. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you have to sort of feather the accelerator on certain points and stuff like that. You have to be a bit more thoughtful about it. But yeah, I think it's going to be cool. I think Daz will enjoy it. But yeah, that's another game which probably one of the games I enjoyed the most out of a lot of the stuff. I mean, I enjoyed a lot, but it depends if you like racing games or not. Do you enjoy racing games, you guys? Or
oh yeah.
Oh, I do absolutely.
And
like cars, so you should do.
For like I loved Gran Turismo back in the day, and then of course Forza.
Yeah.
But sometimes those games get a little too serious for me.
Yeah.
So like
exactly.
this, I love like Hot Shots and this, and Forza Horizon was not as serious, and looked great. So
Yeah. Exactly.
The one that really got me was Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, that's definitely a more arcadey side, isn't it? Definitely.
It's just a fun game to pick up.
I prefer the earlier Burnouts personally, but because Paradise, I'm not really sure about the open world. I preferred the takedown and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm more of a Midnight Club or Project Gotham Racing.
Yeah, we were talking about it
with
a friend at work.
That's
like why Rockstar won't bring out another Midnight Club. I don't know.
Because they make so much money in GTA.
I know. They just take forever.
They are milking it. They are milking and milking and milking.
Hell yeah, they are.
I can't believe they announced a.
You never know. They might have Midnight Club DLC.
Yeah.
Oh man.
For next gen.
Yeah.
Ballad of Gay Tony again.
Oh god.
Just put that back one more time. Yeah, so any of you guys got any others that you wanted to talk about at all, or you all burnt out? No pun intended.
Yeah.
What was it? That Falconeer wasn't it
Falconeer,
you that?
Yeah, Falconeer is actually coming out in Game Pass as well, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, it was in. I had that in one of my videos as well. I think it was a while back.
It was good.
Yeah, that looks really cool. So it's got like a nice art style to it. The developer's a bit quite mad in a good way. But yeah, like it's got no textures. I think the to the actual game is quite clever. It's sort of its visual style is pretty cool. But yeah, depends, again on the gameplay on that one. I think flying game.
The question I think is going to be a good thing to ask everybody. If you like indie games, and I'm seeing this a little bit more now, is would you prefer them to have a physical release or a digital release?
Digital for me.
Yeah, digital for me.
Yeah.
See, I still love my physicals, and it bites me every time. Don't get me wrong, I'll still get it on digital, but it's like I want a cover. I want the smell. I want the little hand manual. I'm old. I need it.
So Sam, you have a closet full of like cartridges, huh?
Oh mate, honestly, it's not a closet. I've got a bed that folds up, and all the storage is underneath, and all my games are underneath my bed.
Man,
that's help you sleep at night, don't it?
Yeah.
Keep things you love close.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm mostly PC anymore, so it's everything's been digital for a while, so it doesn't really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
reinstall whenever I need it, and. So
but I think one thing that worries me with digital is that it can be removed from you, or your access to it could potentially be removed at any time. And secondly, I'm starting to see it, probably not as big a problem for the indie games, but I'm starting to see less quality control. And so it's day one, twice as 60 gigabyte patched, and it's like. We never used to have those issues. We had some, it was, that's it, you got it. This is the game sort of thing, where I think now it's such an easy, do you know what, just get it out, we'll patch it.
Even with the physical
down the line.
We have a thing here called Redbox, where it's like they don't even rent games anymore, but you could rent a physical disc. And there were times when I'd go to I'm the guy that plays Call of Duty for the campaign. So I would go rent the game and then, be all excited to get home after work and play this thing, and then realize that I had 2 hours of, installing my physical game. So it's still, even with a, physical media, there's still basically digital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know what you mean. I mean, the thing is, what you prefer is one thing, but for indie games, there's only one option, which is the sensible option, which is digital, isn't it? You know what I mean?
You say that. I mean, but let's face it. I mean, for the weirdos like myself, we would pay extra for a physical. That's the irony. I think if we could make it cheaper, possibly like a cheap option, because you see what we see now is almost like a plethora of these companies that do physicals now. What's it called? I don't know what they're called. I can't think what they're actually called now.
They're follow,
yeah.
What's the name again? Sorry.
Limited Run Games.
Yeah, that's it.
Limited Run.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing well, so it's not as if
They even have
people aren't buying them.
But it's only it's very small quantities, so it's not massive.
It is, yeah.
They do like a run of like 500 max or something like that, probably. Like, you know, or not even that maybe, but like I think that's a good way of doing it. Like, it's like certain games which have been successes. They've done like Celeste, I think, and stuff like that. You know,
they did Dead Cells too. Yeah,
Dead Cells, things like that, which have like, you know, been popular. I think that's a nice way of doing it. And then it's like collector's edition. There's a Hollow Knight one which I'm definitely going to be getting at some point when I got the extra money. But they've got a really cool one of that. That's on fangamer.com though. That's another reason why I haven't got it yet, because this time at the moment is a bit mental to order stuff from abroad and stuff. But yeah, there's like Fangamer do a lot of cool stuff like that. Like they do like physical editions of indie games which don't actually have a physical edition.
Brilliant.
Yeah, if you just look around, there are places that do that. It's not the actual release; it's usually after the main release. If you see what I mean, it's more available.
Hey, I'm happy with that. That's not a problem. You know, you can still. I guess because I know obviously the indie gamers can't do that. They haven't got the funds. They haven't got the items. You know, not unless they get. You know, not unless they tie themselves to a publisher, which sometimes can restrict or put even more pressure onto the developers. In some cases,
it's a small indie publisher, it'd still be probably the same. But like, it's often the way indie games are rolled out is, you know, that's why it will come out on one console first. So it'll be a trial, and if it sells well on that, then it gets gradually rolled out. It's always like a iterative kind of thing, rather than just we're gonna like if they're lucky, they get like, you know, they might be able to do a whole launch on all consoles, but that often it might be like a staggered release site and stuff like that. As a trial.
This is where Game Pass just works well for them.
Yeah, that's a different story. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where they get a lump sum, and then I think there's I don't know the ins and outs, but I think it's a lump sum, and then they might get per download bonus or something like that. I don't know. I have to find that out one day actually, if I can. But
I got three more quick ones.
Yeah, cool. I've got. Sorry, I've just got one. If you let me know them, and I'll pull them up. I've got one ready, if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, bud. Just let me know them, and then I'll pull them up in a minute. I should have done this differently. I've now realized.
Hey,
sorry about it.
A very good show for the first.
I've definitely been like slow.
It's just natural. I mean, we're all just talking about this and that, whatever comes in.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. So let me just stop that one.
And who knows? You might pick one of the ones I'm thinking. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You'll definitely know this one as soon as you'll definitely.
Boyfriend Dungeon?
Yep.
Yes.
He's got it. Well, you might not know this one, but you should do. It's
Fall Guys. Yes, I saw this.
Basically, Fall Guys is one. If you've seen it once, you will remember it, kind of thing. That's what I meant by that. I don't know. How many of you guys actually seen this game, just out of interest?
Fall Guys. No, I don't think I've seen that.
No, it's been in through my videos, so you're obviously not watching my videos, FC.
To be fair, I haven't been watching a lot of people's videos, man.
I'm only joking. I don't demand you to watch all my videos, my friend.
Nah, man, I always watch them back, bro. Don't worry.
I'll just play.
If you disappear, we know what's happened.
Didn't Sony show this at E3 last year?
It's been, it was at E3 last year, I think. Yeah, initially. So, who sent it? Sorry, no one sent it, or Removal, you sent it? Sorry.
Yeah, no, it was actually. I think it was on. Was it? I think it was Future Gaming, or was it or Guerrilla? They did a trailer for it in the that quick selection of games.
Yeah, that's right. That's all that was shown on this time around. But yeah, it's been
PC Game Show did have this too. Showcase this one too.
Yeah, that could be right, actually. Yeah, because it's a PC and PS4 at the moment only. So, and this game basically, if you haven't sort of sussed it out from what you can see, is going to be like it's kind of like a Total Wipeout, Takeshi's Castle kind of game. I don't know if you're aware of those programs. And it's a multiplayer game with all these people on here, actual players playing, and you basically have to fight your way to the end. And the last one standing is the winner, essentially. It's very simple. And there's all these different, like those walls that they just went through. Some of them don't break, and you just have to take potluck to dive through them, and then if you don't get through, there's another one. But it's it speaks for itself for the visuals, really. But yeah, it's I just think it looks so much fun, like because it's just madness. You know what I mean? It's just, I know it probably isn't some people's cup of tea, but like I think these kind of games are golden, really, because
this is one that you've just gone out for a party with the lads. He's like, yeah, let's go back for a few beers and
exactly. And like on the server, it's like 100 people, and like playing that with your buddies, I think would be so much fun. So it might have to be on PC though, which is not a problem for me, but some people it might be. I don't know.
Well, I'm curious how they're going to do it. If it's going to be like, can you set up a party and how the matchmaking and stuff is going to
exactly. I mean,
play
it'll be interesting. That's going to be where the game makes it, or is exceptional or is bad, kind of, or it doesn't meet its potential is probably any better way to say it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it has so much potential for that. But yeah, like hopefully it will be. They've done a lot of testing, so hopefully when it's coming out it will be good. But like maybe that's why they're only doing the 2 consoles again, the two platforms. But
is it cross-platform for those 2?
I don't know, actually. That would be quite cool. That would make sense because get more players in, because it's the kind of game where you definitely need as many in as possible. But I think if it's less than 100, you have, say, 60 or something like that. And like, you get knocked off, then you're out. It keeps going, then you get to the end, and you saw that bit at the end of the trailer there. It's you get the crown, and then you're the winner. It's very simple
chicken dinner,
but it's basically, I think it's geniusly simple. But yeah, that's one game anyway that I think is going to be a cool game this year, and I reckon maybe it'll come out later on other consoles as well, but at the moment it's PC and PS4. So what was yours? Fastpack, then I'll grab them up.
Lake was one.
Oh yeah.
And then one of those just relax and play.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you like Ghostbusters, I thought Midnight Ghost Hunt looked cool.
Yeah.
Oh yes, 5. I remember that. Yeah.
And I know FC. He's talking about how he likes games about detective and investigation. Night Call had a unique. You're like a cab driver. Yeah, and you're. I guess people that come into your cab, there's something going on, and you're investigating.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's got a really nice noir art style, hasn't it? It's really nicely done. That it's out already actually on one platform. I think it's out on PC already. It was in one of my videos again, but what am I doing? Let's get rid of that quickly.
Yeah, Coop helped me put my PC together. Helped me pick the parts and everything.
Oh, did he? Cool.
So he just opened up a whole new world for me, and
crazy,
Steam and Epic Store.
Got a great bundle right now.
So how you enjoying the PC? You enjoying it all?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I'm loving it too.
Dangerous.
Yeah, get on those Steam demos.
I just downloaded Iron Harvest. So.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah. Cool. Let me just pop this one up now.
And it's gone quiet.
Hey, Andy, I gotta roll out pretty soon, brother.
No worries, mate. So I've lost track of time completely. I'll just pull this one up, and then we can see where we're going. And if you need to go right now, then that's totally cool as well, my friend.
No, I got a couple minutes.
Couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool, mate.
Ooh, that reminds me. Yeah, HEK gave me a bundle for the Black Lives Matter.
Oh, that one on Ichi? Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
It took me like 2 hours just to go through the whole game list.
Yeah, you just reminded me on that.
Oh, Humble Bundle now too.
Yeah.
It's a little more expensive, but
it's
got some fantastic games and comics and books.
Yeah, so this one's Lake, isn't it? You were mentioning about. So basically, you've always dreamed of being a delivery guy, have you?
I really like Death Stranding.
It does look relaxing though, and it looks pretty cool actually. This was shown again. It was like, when was this revealed? I think it was at Exo 19 or something.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, Exo 19, and then they showed it on the Guerrilla.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Postal service.
It looks pretty cool.
There's got to be something to it, though. you know.
Like
I think she's from out of town, and for some reason she's in this town delivering packages for whatever. So
there must be some sort of underlying story, isn't it? It's just one person walking around doing package after package after package. It must be.
Yeah, and then they give you a real car, and then they give you a salary as well. And then you're actually doing the job.
We didn't realise was actually you actually doing Amazon's job, and it's just ironically you're operating a drone.
Their training method.
Exactly.
But it looks interesting. I like the art. You know.
Yeah, it does look nice. Yeah, definitely. Cool. Okay. Well, as FC's needs to be nipping off, and we've gone through quite a few games. Was there any Ask games anyone wanted to mention at all, or should we wind it up? If there's anything we wanted to do before we go, just let us know. We can show them.
You got to save some games for the next episode.
Well, yeah, you should see my list.
You can have few podcasts.
Definitely. Yeah. I think we've done pretty well. We've shown a lot. We'll have a bit more. We'll have a bit more of a formula next time. Sorry, just get rid of that.
Yeah, you know, you gotta give Indy a shout out, man. You did a good job for your first time, bro.
Yeah.
It's the sharing that's throwing me, bro. The sharing of the screen.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, though, brother.
The multitasking, brother.
It is tricky, man. You make it look easy. Yeah, no, it's been such a good fun time, guys. Like, we've talked about a lot of games. Hopefully, someone's seen something that they liked as well. As I said earlier on, there's a lot of games available on Steam at the moment, so potentially quite a lot of the games I've pulled up today you'll be able to download right now, because they've got hundreds, I believe, on there. So go and check that out and download some games. But yeah, I want to say a massive thank you for everybody who has popped into the chat. You guys are absolute legends, every one of you. I do really appreciate it, because this is the first show. It's been, on my part, I've struggled through it a little bit, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. I've done my best to keep it, flowing and stuff. And luckily, I've got some great guys with me who've helped make it a great show. But I really appreciate everyone in the chat. Thanks for the support. You guys all rock. And thanks so much for joining me, all you guys, on the actual show. So just before we go, let's go around everyone, and you want to say where they can find you. Anyone wants to find you on your trails? I know most of you guys have got channels and cool content that people can find and watch. So yeah, starting with FC, where can they all find you, my friend?
Yes, sir. But before I do that, man, thank you, Indie Gamer, for allowing me to be on your very first episode of the podcast, man. Hope you continue doing this, man. It was fun. Very, the panel members here you guys all rock, man. Talking about indie game and talking about gaming and passion. So I feel like I'm in my bag here. But you could definitely find me, man, on my channel, FC Space Violent. I haven't made a video in a while, but I'll start doing that again. I've been trying to move and sell my house, but you will find me and the Vitamin G Gaming crew with Kofi and the gang on Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Definitely check it out.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, FC, for all those kind words as well. I really appreciate it, brother. So Super Coop, where can they find you, my friend?
You can't find me.
You can't find you.
On his electric bike, running out of breath.
That's right.
Yeah, they won't catch you on that thing. I tell you, it's fast.
Catch me. I just want to say too that it was an honor, man. I thanks for having me on. Stoked to be on episode 1 of the Indie Gamer Show here. And,
name to be confirmed kind of thing. Yeah, we've called it the Indie Games podcast. But
Drop your indies.
Drop the indies is definitely up there. But yeah, we'll see. It might get changed at some point. But thanks so much for coming on, buddy. So where did you say your Twitter and all that malarkey? Or
I'm at. It's always confusing for people because it's at Beaver Believer, which is, I'm from Oregon State fan, so it's kind of a home. If you're not from here, you probably wouldn't get that one. So yeah, you can find me wherever. I'm on there on Twitter. I think you put the link down below. So I
did, yeah. All the links are down below in case you want to look those up, guys, and you can follow those links. But you definitely follow Coop because he's a great guy, and everyone else is as well, of course. So Fastback, thanks so much for joining me, my friend. You know, indie brother and all that.
Yeah,
like everyone else, awesome. I feel like I'm taking it away from everyone else when I'm saying you're my brother, but you all are. So
hey,
yeah,
I appreciate you. On. Yeah, we've been friends for a while, and we both enjoyed a lot of the same games, and just we're both passionate, positive gamers. Exactly. That's what I love about you, and I'm super happy that you're able to do this. So I look forward to more of these from you.
Thanks, my friend.
But you can find me. You can find me tomorrow on Next Level Gaming on YouTube at 9. Is it 9:30? Yeah, 9:30 Eastern p.m. So
that's fine. You know which time that one is.
Every Thursday we have a 3-hour tour.
Yeah,
of Game Talk. We just had our 200th episode last week. So
nice, man. Congrats.
It's been fun. You know, Mike, Stinger, Mike, HTK, who was in chat right now, and John and Techno Fabulous, and then you have Frankie, who's Viper Strike. So awesome guys. Just always fun to be with them every Thursday. On Twitter, you can find Fastback6768. Also on Xbox and PlayStation. Don't ask me about the Switch. And it's good. This is awesome. It's good. Removal Sanity. I remember saw you on Stubbs' show. Enjoyed that. Talk with you and SC Violent. Also, I've seen you. Talk back and forth on Twitter and stuff like that. And caught your last podcast. So yeah, it's good to be here with you guys.
Yeah, man. Like
Indie Talk.
Yeah, nice one.
Good stuff. Always a great positive gamer. Fastback. I really appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, NLG, awesome show. Definitely check that out. Same with, VGP, which is FC Violent's show, which is damn incredible. If you want to see some good hosting, go and check out FC Violent. He's got that down to a T. I will hopefully learn from him and be a little better. But I hope that I was able to showcase some indie games and have a good fun time with you all. That's what, basically my objective was for today. And I've had a great time doing that, basically. So... and Removable Sanity, my friend, where can people find you and your channel?
Oh, first of all, big thanks to yourself, Macy, for even considering me to come on board here. I find it's nice to be such a great bunch of guys on here, and just you can just see the passion from everybody here, which is absolutely fantastic. Just to be thought about is just a bit of a mind blur for me. And honestly, I've been kind of like a hermit, and now all of a sudden I'm now speaking to people, so it's a little bit weird for me.
I was like that, before I came into the community. It's like never really played online games with other people. Didn't really have anyone to play with and chat games with, and now this community is so great. So yeah, I really relate to that, my friend, and it's great to have you in the community. But carry on, sorry.
No, it was brilliant. To be honest, actually, to even be welcomed, I much appreciate it. It's put me a lot of ease. For any of those out there who just feel they don't want to talk, it's proven there's evidence out there. There's a great bunch of people out there. You just need to have a chat, and you can see the group here. Follow them, honestly. These are a great bunch of guys who will just welcome you on board. Honestly, it's nice. But to find me, I can be found on YouTube, Twitter, and minds.com under the name Removable Sanity. So thank you very much.
Pleasure. No, thank you, my friend. That's much appreciated. And, thanks so much for being a part of the first show, everybody. It's like I say, it's been a lot of fun. It really has. I've had an absolute blast. And, based on this, potentially it will be, I'm leaning towards something. You're carrying this on, to be honest, because I just think, getting indies out to people and sharing the love for those bad boys. And just chatting with friends about, this sort of stuff, like you guys, just being able to chat about something which is slightly different to the usual podcast, namely indie games, is, something I love to do. And it's also a, positive message. And it does a little good for the smaller guys out there trying to make those small games when they're up against it. But yeah, I will not linger anymore. I know you guys get out of here. and NFC can get back to his standing. No, but I hope your move goes well, FC, and all that.
I
think
appreciate it, man.
I hope it's all smooth and everything. You settle down soon. But yeah, once again, thanks so much to everyone to coming out and watching this podcast. You're rock, and thanks so much everyone to be on the show. Excuse me. You can find me right here on this channel. Obviously, feel free to subscribe and like the video. It would be massively appreciated. But if you are, a fan of indie games, the channel is usually a video-based channel. But I've been doing a lot more live stuff recently, so branching out to do more of that. But if you're a fan of indie games and you like to keep up on the latest indie games that are coming out, then I would love it if you'd subscribe. It would be massively appreciated. But thanks again, guys. We're going to go now and leave you. So cheers, and I'll catch you all maybe in the next one. Hopefully, guys. Take it easy.
Hey, everybody. Appreciate it.
Later,
Later, guys.